Yep.
Because they stop uphill travel. So,
Right. Yeah, I know that's a bummer. I missed that. All right, ladies, are we ready?
yeah.
Okay. Can you see me all right?
Yeah.
Everyone's good? You can all see me? Okay. All right. So let's lie down supine on our mats. Nice and flat. And let's just take some nice deep breaths. Inhale through that belly. So let's just take some nice diaphragmatic breathing pattern, a little bit of that. So fill up that belly as you inhale. And as you exhale, breathe out, engaging those abdominals. Every time you inhale, fill up that belly. And exhale, lower that belly, engage those abdominals. Let's do one more of those. Put those hands right on that belly and just fill it right up. Bloat it up with air for the inhale. And then exhale, engage those bellies. Now let's just move those hands right up towards the rib cage, both sides. And let's just work on some lateral breath. Nice deep breath in. Really fill up that rib cage. Expand nice and wide, belly is engaged, and then exhale. As you exhale, that rib cage is going to shrink right back down in. So let's do that again. A nice deep inhale, expand that rib cage, and then exhale. That rib cage is going to shrink back in. Let's do one more. A nice deep inhale, fill up the rib cage, abdominals are strong, and exhale. Nice deep exhale. And let's bring your hands right down towards the mat. Feet are still staying right underneath those knees. And I just want you to do a little forward and backwards here with your sacrum. So let's tap the bottom part of your sacrum to the mat for a little anterior tilt. And then the top part of your sacrum. And then reverse. So keep going, lower. And the upper, this is a little sagittal plane movement here of your body. So the lower part of your sacrum touches, and then the upper part. I want you inhaling as the lower part touches the mat, and then exhale when you come back in for that posterior tilt. So a nice anterior tilt and exterior. There you go. Way up. And then back down. Can you ladies see me? Am I on the main screen on your?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good, okay. And down, and then one more.
So you can't see me.
Okay. And then down, and let's just do one more. And then back down. And now what I want you to do is sort of find that center of the sacrum from the north and the south. And now let's go left to right with the sacrum. So just tap that left side of the sacrum and then the right. We're just sort of finding that center of the sacrum. With that, you'll get nice equal hips. To the left and to the right. It's not a big movement, it's very small. Breathing can be however you like. We're just finding the center of that sacrum. To the left and then to the right. Let's do one more here. And let's hold it. Let's get yourself right slowly to the center of that sacrum. From here, let's just lift the right knee up into tabletop as you exhale. And then lower that leg, switch the other side. Exhale as you bring that left knee up. And then lower. Let's keep doing that. Keeping that sacrum centered right where we just did all that work. Right smack in the middle of that sacrum. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Here you go. Exhale. Lift up and down. Now for this last set, I want you to hold that left leg up and then the right. So both are up. We're going to really concentrate now on engaging that pelvic area. Long right up through the spine, out the top of your head. I want you to lower the right toes towards the floor and back up, and then switch sides. The left down and then back up. Lower and lift. Again, lower. There you go. And lift. Perfect. Lower and lift. Let's do one more on each side, keeping that sacrum down on the mat. Backs of your rib cage are on the mat. Let's hold it right here. I want you to hold it. I want you to take your left hand and place it on the inside of your right knee and just press against. So what you're doing right now is just sort of activating that anterior oblique sling, everything that crosses right in the front. Hold it there. Now lower that left foot all the way to the floor. Press really hard as you can, into that knee. Breathing. This is really getting that oblique sling right in the front, acting up. And engaged. You can lower that knee and then switch to the other side. So your right hand is going to go into the inside of that left knee. Press as hard as you can. Really feel that oblique sling across the front. Starting from your serratus anterior all the way down across the front of your belly. And then let's switch sides again. Same thing, but this time I want you to, in addition to pressing that hand into your knee, press that left foot down into the floor as well. And your right hand into the floor. So now you've got both going on at the same time. You've got your posterior and anterior oblique slings. Everything is kicking in. Now this is what creates your balance. And then switch the other side. Same thing. Press that right foot down into the floor and that left hand, in addition to pressing that hand into that left knee. Make sure you're breathing. The sacrum is pressed down against the mat, as well as your rib cage. And then lower both legs. Very good. Let's put our hands right behind our head, and I want your fingers up high. They're clasped together, but up nice and high, so that your thumbs are placed in that little hollow section just below your skull. It's called the occiput. That's where you want your fingers. Your knees are slightly apart. We're going to start going into a nice abdominal curl. So now let's lift the chin and the chest up for the exhale. Inhale as you come down. Nice and slow. Here we go. Exhale as you come up. Peel that spine up off of the floor and lower down. Again, let's lift up on the exhale and lower slowly one vertebrae down. Let's do two more like that. All the way up. Think long through that spine. You're not using your neck. Your pelvic muscles are engaged. Let's do another one. Long through that spine, all the way up through the back of your head. And hold it here. Now let's just drop those knees to the right side. Same thing. Let's lift the head and chest. Exhale. Inhale as you lower. Again, you're pulling on that spine right through that thoracic as you lift. Not using your neck. Lift up on the exhale. Inhale as you come down. Very good. All the way up. Working your frontal plane now. That's side to side with those legs. Lift up one last time. Exhale. And then move those legs to the left side. Keep going with the abdominal curls. Lift up and then lower. Remember, you're exhaling and inhale as you lower. This is nice and slow, smooth movement. Lift up. You can drop those knees as close to the floor as you are comfortable. And also by adding the legs going a little lower, you get in a little transverse fling going on, so you get a little rotation at the same time. Makes it a little more challenging. Lift up and down. Let's do one more, we're almost there. Lift up and down. And let's rest here, holding it. Let's place those hands right back down towards the floor. I want you to bring both knees up into tabletop. Let's bring those hands all the way to the side so that they're at a T with our palms facing down for some spine twist. So drop those knees to the right side on the exhale, and then lift them up as you inhale, and then lower to the opposite side. Now when you're lowering the knees, you don't need to go all the way to the floor, just about halfway, because what we're trying to do is control those abdominals. And I want you to exhale as you lower the legs, and that will engage those muscles even more. Inhale when you come to the center, and then exhale. This is a nice rotation. Go. Inhale at the center, and then exhale as you lower. Inhale up, and then exhale. Let's do one more on each side. Feel that rotation in your spine. Really start to concentrate on those pelvic muscles staying strong. Let's hold it right here. I want you to lift your head, chest, grab a hold of that left knee, straighten out the right leg, and we're going to go right into leg pulls. So we're going to pull in twice and then switch. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. There you go. Keep going. Think of those pelvic muscles. Long, right up through that cylinder, through your spine, out the back of your head. Nice and long. Breathe. Exhale every time that knee comes into you. Exhale. Exhale. There you go. Nice and long. Pay attention to the alignment in your legs. Quad, knee, and the tops of your feet are straight up towards that ceiling. You don't want your leg externally rotated. Nice and straight. For 4, 3, 2, we're going to hold it up here. For that last one, I want both knees hugging right up, holding knees together for double leg stretch. Open, and then bring them together. Inhale up, exhale in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. As you exhale, remember, think about the lower part of your rib cage is trying to make contact with the top of your hip bone. So it's a very deep, deep, deep C curve you're creating as you lift those knees towards your chest. And in, and out, and in. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Last 2. Woo, good job. Let's bring it down. Drop those knees just side to side, almost like you're running windshield wipers. So just at your own pace, side to side. Very nice. And then let's stretch out the legs all the way down. Think of that length all the way from your hip flexors through your quads. I want you to lift that right leg straight up to the floor. We're going to do some leg circles. Let's cross that center line, lower, come all the way out to the side, back straight up. Now reverse direction, all the way out, down. And I'll talk you through. I want you to keep going. As you cross that center line, that right hip is naturally going to come up slightly. That's okay. Exhale. Inhale as your feet go away from you, and then exhale as that foot comes closer to you. All the way around and back up. Now let's add a nice little sharpness as we come closer to the end. So let's circle here and then back in. Circle around, snap. Circle around, snap. There you go. Let's do one more. Last one here, and hold it. You can switch legs all the way down. Bring that left leg straight up to the sky. Same thing. Let's start with crossing the center line. All the way over, lower, inhale, exhale as we come back up. Reverse direction, all the way around. You go. As you're doing this, concentrate on that sacrum and your rib cage being pressed down towards the floor. Keeping your abdominals nice and strong. And up and around. Now let's add that little snap at the end. Snap. Around. And snap. Really opening up those hips. And snap. There you go. Around. Last one, last full one. Let's go around one more time. All the way here. And let's hold it right here. Hold it. I want you to bring both knees right into your chest, all the way. Let's lift that head and chest right up off the floor. Straighten out the right leg away from you. And left leg is straight up to the sky. We're gonna do some straight leg pulls. In, switch. In. In. There you go. Exhale each time that leg comes up towards you. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. You got it. Pull, pull, switch. Check out the alignment in your legs. Nice and straight. Your belly button is down and up to create that length. Breathe. Exhale. 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 Almost there. For 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1, and lie down. Whew, all the way. Extend those legs all the way to the wall. We're going to place our hands right up over our heads for roll up. So let's lift those hands. On the inhale, I want you to exhale as you tuck that chin underneath you and peel yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Coming up to find that imaginary wall behind you that you're leaning against. Wheel back. Tuck that tailbone underneath you. Pull yourself back. Back, 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 back. All the way one vertebrae at a time. And relax. Let's do that 4 more times. Here we go. So we're going to lift up to the ceiling on the inhale. Exhale, chin, chest. Peel that spine right off. Very nice. And again, wheel back. Exhale as you pull yourself back all the way. And again, on the inhale, lift those hands. Exhale, chest, spine, all the way up, nice and tall. Again, let's wheel back. Exhale. Control yourself going down, nice and long. And then let's inhale. Exhale, chin, chest, spine, peeling right up off of that mat. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's do that spine stretch. Let's tuck that chin down towards your chest and imagine you're diving under a low ceiling as you pull, you're being pulled forward. And then back up nice and tall. Again, chin down towards your chest, all the way down. Okay, let's inhale as we come up. Let's exhale as we come forward. Exhale all the way down. Concentrate on those sit bones. Sit bones and hips are equally placed against the mat. Remember what we did in the beginning. We found that center in our pelvic area. We want to keep that for these exercises. Again, last one, chin down. Dive under that low ceiling. Feel that stretch through your lower back, up through your spine. And then all the way back up. Very good. And then let's wheel back. One vertebrae at a time. Exhale. Very slowly. Holding it here. Very good. Now let's go right into some bridging. So let's place the heels right underneath those knees. The closer the heels are, the more comfortable you will be. We're going to do straight backs now. We're going to really work that multifidi, that muscle that runs right down your spine. So in order to get that, we're going to do some straight back work today instead of articulating your spine back and forth. So what we're gonna do is concentrate on that sacrum. Lift the sacrum first, up off of the mat. A nice straight line. Knees, hips, shoulders. Here we are. Place those hands down towards the mat. From here, I want you to simply press as hard as you can your left foot and your right hand into the mat. There's that posterior oblique sling. Now switch sides. Same thing. Right foot, left hand. And again, let's switch sides. Press as hard as you can, engaging all those little muscles. And then switch, other side. Press as hard as you can. Very good. And now what I want you to do is lift, and you can place that left foot wherever you're most comfortable so that you're able to get your right leg up from this bridge position. So we're gonna put that left, or that right foot actually, right up in the sky, tabletop position. Now, press that left foot and right hand. Ooh. Holding it here. And now switch sides. Same thing. Lift that left leg right up into tabletop. Press that left or right foot, and left hand into the mat. Keeping those hips nice and squared off. Again, remember where we started. Sacrum is nice and level. And then switch sides. Same thing. Press the right hand and the left foot into that mat. Make sure you're breathing. Sorry, guys. And let's switch sides. Press that foot all the way into that mat and that left hand into that mat. And then lower. Holding your bridge, I don't want you to let go quite yet. Let's place those knees together. Remember, you're keeping that nice straight line. Tuck that chin down to your chest and back. That creates that length. Holding it here. Now lower, straight down. I want your sacrum to hit that mat first. Now lift, sacrum up first, all flat back, no articulation at all. And then lower. Concentrate on the center of that sacrum, hitting that mat first. Let's lift again. Really squeeze those knees together. Squeeze those knees together as hard as you can. That's going to activate that pelvic floor. And lower. And then lift. Nice flat back. Squeeze those knees together. And then lower. Very good. Let's bring that back up one last time. On the exhale, open those knees. And let's just go into some nice, smooth bridging, articulating your spine. Down one vertebrae at a time. And then up on the exhale. Lower one vertebrae at a time down. Lift up on the exhale. Keep going at your own pace. Just make sure every time you lift those hips that sacrum is nice and level, your hips are squared off, you're scooping those abdominals, and that will also help protect that lower back. And lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And let's just do one more, holding it right up there. Nice high bridge. Again, one last time, we're gonna lift that right leg all the way back up. Tabletop. Press that left foot into the floor and that right hand into the floor as hard as you can. Keeping those hips nice and squared off. These are tough. Breathe. And then switch sides. Same thing, tabletop. Press that right foot in and left hand into that mat. As hard as you can. And then lower. Bring your spine down one vertebrae at a time. Hug those knees to your chest to stretch that out. And then let's lie on our sides. We can just very carefully roll over to the side. And I want your legs straight out in front of you. One of two ways you can do this, elbow under or straight down, whichever you're most comfortable with. What we're going to do is just go into some side lifts, so both legs lifting up. As we come up, it's the glute. I prefer my hand right above my hips. Lift on the exhale, inhale down. This is a double leg side lift. So what I want you to do now, as you are moving along, concentrate on where the weight is in your body. I want you to take the weight out of your shoulder, your elbow, shoulder, and place it in your core. So imagine you're being lifted right from underneath you as you come right up. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Taking that weight out of that bottom elbow is going to relieve that stress in your shoulders, and it's also going to allow you to work those obliques a little bit more. Exhale and inhale. Breathe. Exhale and inhale. Let's do 4 more. 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Holding it here. I want you to bend that lower leg. Start to press that lower leg into the floor. Top leg is straight out, level with that hip. Hand can be right back on that top hip as well. I want you to come forward with the heel flexed and then back. Now, as you're doing this exercise, concentrate on those hips. Naturally, that top hip is going to go back slightly. That's okay, but I want you to just pay attention to where you're feeling this. You want to be feeling this in your hip flexors and in your psoas muscles. So it's all the way back on the inhale, forward on the exhale. Good job. Forward on the exhale. Really feel that length through that toe and then through the heel. Toe, heel. You got it. Press that bottom leg into the mat simultaneously, and you will feel a big difference with all those spinal extensors. Your core will activate even more. And back. This is all balance. Keeping those hips squared off. That top hip is just as level as it can be with that bottom. Let's do 1 more like this. And let's hold that leg straight out so that your knee to knee, that knee is just above. I want you to flex that foot now. Let's point, go to the floor and lift. Lower and lift. Breathe. Breathe. Inhale and exhale down. Woo. And exhale down. You got it. Inhale up, exhale. Remember, you're releasing the weight out of that bottom arm. It's going into your torso. Last 4. These are tough. 3.
I was gonna say that.
2. Last 1, and hold it right here. Hold it. Flex that foot. Bring it all the way back. You can shake it out for just a second. Woo. And let's go right into some side plank. So you can do this one of 2 ways. If you're comfortable on the hand, sure, or down on the elbow, sure, whichever you prefer. I'm going to actually do it on my elbow today. Just make sure that you have enough leeway here so that you can get yourself up into that side plank. So you can do stacked feet or one in front of the other, whichever you are most comfortable with. We're just gonna put our hands on our hip, press that elbow or hand as hard as you can into the mat to help you out. Let's take that top hand up to the sky and let's just thread the needle. We're going to go under for the oblique and inhale as we come up. Exhale for the oblique. Inhale as we come up. There you go. Exhale and inhale. Keep that pelvic floor engaged. Think long right through that spine, right out through the top of your head. Exhale and open. Squeeze that hand into the mat. That will help engage those shoulder extensors, all the muscles behind your shoulder. Up. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Ooh. And then rest. Come all the way down. And we'll switch sides. So same thing. Mia's gonna have to go. Alrighty. So on the side, wherever you prefer, hand or elbow. Let's just start with those leg lifts. Hand on the top hip. Let's start to lift, and I'll start talking you through it. You want to think long through those heels. Your legs are straight. They can also be at a slight angle in front if that's needed. Lift and lower. Long through those heels. Your pelvic muscles are engaged, and that length is going right up through that cylinder out your head. And lower. Exhale and inhale. Start to take that weight out of that bottom elbow. Move that weight from your arm into your torso. And there's that oblique. And down. Lift and lower. Good. Let's do 4 more. 4. It's just small. You're feeling that little pinch. It's a tiny little pinch in there. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's hold it here. Bend that bottom leg. Start to press that leg into the floor, lifting that top leg. And let's just go right into some side kicks. So forward and then back. Think long through that heel, long through that toe. Exhale forward, inhale back. Keep that top hip nice and strong and squared off. Remember, when you go back, your leg is all in nice alignment. So you don't want to be externally rotating that leg. It's nice and straight all the way back. This is a nice stretch for those psoas muscles and those hip flexors. Right back and forward. Again, now let's start to think about the weight that's in that bottom arm. Release it. Put it back in that torso. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. There you go. Last 2. Last 1. And let's hold it right here. Flex that foot so those toes are pointed downward, and lower and lift. Lower and lift. This is all those glutes. Flex the hamstrings. They're tight. Flex that foot. It'll help stretch them out a little bit. Lower and lift. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Make sure you are breathing. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good job. Down and up. 3 more. You got it. 3. 2. Last 1. And shake it out. Let's just go into some side planking. Again, you can keep yourself down on the elbow. You can stagger the legs or stack them, whichever you prefer. I want you to get yourself right up into a nice side plank. Imagine there's a wall behind those heels. You're pressing against that wall. Pelvic muscles are engaged. You have that strong length right out through the top of your head. Hands straight up. Let's thread the needle. Through and up. You got it. And up. In and out. Press that hand into the mat, and that will help with that shoulder. The posterior shoulder girdle will kick in if you're squeezing that mat with your hand. And up. Again, down. And up. Last one. And relax. All the way down. Woohoo! Good job. All right, let's get on all fours here. Let's go right into some scapula dips. So we're going to warm up right between your shoulders and on the outsides. So belly button is up and forward. Knees are below, just below the hips. Let's squeeze and release. So you're just dropping that sternum and then tucking it back in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now as you're doing this, you want to try to keep that torso as still as you possibly can. It's a really weird feeling. You're just opening up and then closing that scapula. Now, you want to think of that squeezing a walnut between your shoulder blades, but you also want to think about that glenohumeral joint that connects your upper bone and your arm, and then your scapula. So you want to feel that all the way out there. Your scapula is like wings. You want to feel them all the way to the tip. All the way to that humerus bone. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Lower. Let's do just 2 more of these. Last one. Last 2. And let's hold it right here. Now remember what we just did? Finding that center in our shoulders. We've got the center in our sacrum. I want you to extend that right leg, pressing that heel against an imaginary wall that's behind you, and then extend that left hand so it's straight out in front of you. You're in a nice neutral position. I don't want your head hyperextended. You're nice and long. Engage the pelvic floor. Lift arm and leg simultaneously and hold it here. Press that hand and knee into the mat as hard as you can. Lower arm and leg. Lift the arm and leg. Lower and lift. You got it. Lower and lift. Keeping those hips as squared off as you possibly can. I don't know what my angle is here. Hope it's okay. Lower and lift. Belly button is up and forward. Remember that length. This isn't about how high that arm or leg is going. It's about how long. Inhale up, exhale down. Almost there. Let's do 3 more. 3. Use that glute, use that glute. 2. Long through that toe. Last one, and let's switch. Same thing. Take that left foot all the way out. Imagine there's a wall that your heel is pressing against. It's going to create that length. Hand in front of you. And on the inhale, let's lift up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep going. Start to press that hand and knee into the mat as hard as you can. Really grip those fingers into the mat. That's going to engage that posterior shoulder girdle, keeping you balanced. Up and down. Remember that belly button is up and forward, creating that length right out through your head. Lift nice and long. There you go. Let's do 4 more. 4. Last 3. Last 2. Long pelvic floor is strong. Last 1. And hold it here. Let's just come right down to a child's pose and stretch out those arms just a little bit. And breathe. And let's come right back up into all fours. I want you to take, let's take your right leg and we're going to extend that. Same thing, and the left. Let's lift both up. On the inhale, I want you to send your leg and arm away from your body and then back in. So it's open and then close. Open and close. Press that hand and knee into the mat. Shoulders are down and back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. And hold it here. Let's switch sides. So again, let's just lift. We can go right up into the lift. Leg and arms straight up. Belly is up and tight. Away from the body and together. Away and together. Press that hand and knee into the mat. Inhale as you go out. Exhale as you come in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Let's do 3 more. Last 3. 2. You got it. Last 1. And child's pose. Let's come down, stretch out those shoulders. There you go. Nice stretch. And then all the way back up. And let's just go into some forward planking. So we're going to work on that sagittal plane again. So elbows are down on the floor. I want you to hover forward. Knees are just underneath your hips. You're going to extend that heel. Either one, I don't care which one first, and then the opposite. Let's get yourself right into a nice plank. Now remember what we just did. Scapula, strong in the shoulders, belly is up and tight. Let's lift the right foot. Exhale, inhale as you lower. Switch, left and lower. Keep going. Long through that glute, long through that toe as you lift. Remember, it's not about the height, it's about that length. And lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Almost there for 4. Last 3. Got it. Last 2. Breathe. Last 1. Bring that left knee in, right knee, stretch into child's pose and breathe. And breathe. Very nice. And let's get right back into that plank. Elbows. And this time, if you'd like to go onto your hands, feel free. Let's extend one leg and the other. Find your plank. Shoulders are down and back. All we're going to do is lift the heels and lower them. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Concentrate on that belly button. Strong. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze the glutes. Lift and lower. Shoulders are down and back. Pinching that walnut between your shoulder blades. Lift. For 3. Got it. 2. Last 1. And let's stretch that out one last time, and then we're going to get right onto our belly in prone position for some nice swans. I like swans. Those are nice. Alrighty, so let's get right down onto our bellies. And let's start with some rockets just to warm up a little bit. So what I want you to do is place your head down on the mat. You can face the camera for now. Shoulders are down, palms are facing up. Think long through those glutes, long through those toes. I want you to take a nice deep inhale. As you do so, think about the strength in your pelvic muscles, right up through that cylinder, out through the top of your head to create that length. And then lower, exhale, switch other side. And again, nice deep inhale, strong through the pelvic muscles, right up that cylinder, up through the top of your head. And lower, keep going, keep moving. As you're doing this, make sure that that head does not become hyperextended. So you don't want that head bending back too far, and you don't want to be bent too far in your lumbar. Nice and long. You can really start to lift those feet up if you're comfortable and ready to do so on the inhale. Inhale up, and then exhale. Inhale. So hard I can't see you ladies that well. And down. Lift up and down. Remember those glutes. Don't forget about the glutes. Lift up and lower. Up and lower. Let's do one more, just one more. Lift up and lower. And let's place those elbows so that they're just about underneath. Well, maybe just a little bit farther back. Hands are just about in front of us, probably about a foot or so. I want you to go into a nice baby swan. So from here, again, think long through the pelvic muscles, long up through the spine, out the top of the head on the inhale. Exhale as you come down. Let's do that again. As you come up for the inhale, think long through your spine, out the top of your head. And then lower. Exhale. Lift back up. And then lower. I want both hip bones and both big toes touching the mat. Lift up. And then lower. And let's lift up one last time. On that inhale, elbows are slightly bent, and then release. Now let's go into a full swan. So we're going to place those hands so that they're underneath our shoulders this time. For this, you can actually, all three of you, I think you're all three good to just let your legs lift. So feel that length through your inner thighs, long so that your toes actually lift right up off of the floor. So during the inhale, let's do this together to start. Strong through the pelvic muscles, right up through that cylinder. Inhale as we come up, nice and long. Lift those toes. And then lower all the way down, forehead to the mat. Let's do that again. Long through the spine, up through the top of the head. Glutes are strong, toes are long. That rhymes, that's good. And then down for the exhale. Keep that belly engaged. Remember, you have a tack under that belly button. Let's do that again. Inhale, long through that spine, right up the top of your head. And then exhale. Toes back down, head down. Let's do one more. Lift nice and long, all the way up through the back of that head. Shoulders are down and back. Holding it here. And lower yourself, lower the toes, lower the forehead. Place those hands all the way out in front of you. I want those toes and hips placed down equally into the mat. Hands right up to the sides, almost as if you're in a V. So they're going to be slightly up in front of you. From here, I want you to slowly lift the head and chest. Lift the arms, drag them up towards, closer to you, and then lower. So So I want you to lift, feeling this through your thoracic. This is all your thoracic. And then down. You're just dragging those hands, pulling yourself up with your torso. So you're really using right now your latimus dorsi and your entire thoracic. And lower. Lift up. And lower. So all your core. Keep that belly nice and strong. Now to make it a little more challenging, pinky down towards the floor and lift up. It's a little challenging. And lower. Keeping those hips squared off right on the mat. And lower. Lift up. Keeping that head in a nice gentle curve. Neutral spine. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Let's do one more. Just one more. Concentrate long, long, long through that spine, up the top of the head. Hold it here. Hold it. This is your transverse abdominis right now, on fire. Hold it right there, right through your thoracic. Shoulders are down and back. You're looking to the floor just ahead of you. Breathe. And then lower, all the way down. Let's bring those hands right underneath you. Get yourself right up into a seated position. Facing the camera. No, Nina, you have to head out. Just a sec. All right, so let's do some shoulder circles here. So round to the back. Here you go. This is very different, I have to tell you.
Your video on?
Yeah, it's just,
sound?
yeah.
It was great.
It's
really.
very,
Let me know whenever you're going to do another one, and I'm going to watch this one on YouTube tomorrow morning.
yeah, I'm gonna put it, yeah. I have to perfect this live thing. It's sort of, it's a little different, a little awkward. Sorry, ladies, for the first time, but
No,
I think.
it was good once.
And then you can look side to side. So just take that chin to the shoulder, and then center. The opposite. And center. And then look to the opposite side. Center. And then to the opposite side.
Okay.
Center.
I have to go, Anne-Marie. Thank
Bye,
you so
Nina.
much. Bye.
Thanks. And then just take a nice deep breath, hands behind the back, lift all the way up. As you lift, keep those shoulders down, and then lower. On the exhale, lift up again. Remember that imaginary wall behind you. Sacrum in the back of your rib cage is touching that imaginary wall. And then again, one time up. Nice big inhale. And then exhale. And there you go, ladies.
Thank you. It's wonderful. It worked out really well. I think so too. It worked great.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll get there. We'll definitely get there. This is totally out of my element here, so.
we're all in together. And as I said, look, you're a pro, so.
Yeah, no, not this way.
Yeah, pretty darn good.
Not this way,
Yeah.
but I did a couple things with you two or you three that I had been doing with my class this week, so that was good. And you ladies did it pretty good, so.
Excellent. Let us know when you have the next one.
I will. I miss you guys, and I'll start posting now. I think we've got it all figured out, so. The
Thank
YouTube
you.
thing.
Thank you.
See ya, ladies.
Bye.